Unfortunately for this movie, its problems are some of the big things. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, our movie in the middle is The Little Things, which did come out about a month ago. So it is a little bit later, but we haven't had a whole lot of new things come out this week that I could actually see and work on. So I figured I would do a catch up on The Little Things. And a lot of people are comparing this movie to Seven, or a lot of people, already in their reviews have compared it to Seven, and I can definitely see why. I actually had almost forgotten that until closer to the end, but I mean, you can see the comparisons because it's about two cops who are trying to track down this murderer in a series of killings that are very organized and very specifically done. And one of the cops is a little bit older; he's been through it. One of the other cop is you know younger, and he's starting out new, and he's very like, let's go for it, and I'm gonna get this done. And yeah, even the ending is very Seven like in terms of where they end up. And um, I don't want to say too much, but I can very much see the similarities between them. This movie is directed by John Lee Hancock and stars Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. And I think Jared Leto's already getting some buzz for. I think he was nominated. I think for Golden Globe or SAG, and then he is also getting buzz for Oscar nominations as well. So the highs of this movie. The biggest high is the cast, obviously. I mean, that's the thing that they were really pushing in the trailers. It's like they almost kind of knew that this wasn't going to do very well. So they were like, look at our cast. Because the cast is amazing. I mean, it's the main three people are Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. I mean, that's just incredible acting right there. I will say, even for that cast, there were some moments where I was like, all right, the acting's okay, or that seemed a little, maybe it was just the script, I don't know. But for the most part, their acting was really good. I loved Denzel Washington and Rami Malek's chemistry. They were really good. The way that Rami Malek starts off sort of cold to him, and then sort of as he progresses into, maybe I don't know as much about this, they become really good friends, and he and Denzel Washington sort of becomes like a source of comfort. And what do I do for Rami Malek's character, which was really great. And Denzel Washington, he has this case that he worked on before that has some like ghosts for him. That coming back and doing this case is bringing up a lot of stuff from the past and things he also still is trying to figure out. So that was really great too, trying to figure out that mystery. And there is a lot of suspenseful scenes in this. Specifically, the interrogation scene is probably one of my favorites. I mean, that's probably one of the most well-known parts from the trailer, aside from Jared Leto looking like he hasn't slept in 5 days and being like, you know, um, and that scene was really great. Everything with him was really great because you're like, what is this guy? Like, his character is an anomaly. Like, it's a very on purpose. It's very vague as to whether he is a killer or not. And yeah, so there were a lot of really great scenes with him and a lot of pretty good amount of suspense. For the lows though, that's the bigger part of this because the whole movie, while it's compared to Seven, it feels like a half baked version of Seven. It feels like a very generic version. The killings are generic. Um, Everything just feels like kind of like, hey, I want to do something like this, and so they sort of came up with just like we could do this and put it together. And the only one original-ish interesting part is Jared Leto's, role in this. So it feels very bland, and it is kind of slow and boring because Jared Leto doesn't come in until about halfway through. So it does feel kind of slow, and like things don't really start happening until about halfway through. And even then, it's sort of slow. But I think my biggest low with this is that the ending feels inconsequential, and it is on purpose, and it is something that I do respect because they tried. I don't want to say they tried something new, but they tried to put a new spin on it in terms of what this movie's really about. You come to realize maybe it's not about so much the case or the killer; it's about the detectives and something that they learn. And while I respect that, it makes you feel like you just wasted 2 hours of your life. because you're like, well, what did we learn? You know, and so it really, I mean, this one big question is, who is the killer, or and are we going to catch them? And you never really find out. Um, if they do or not, they might, but it's annoying, because you kind of want to know, and it feels like it stops short. There is definitely an ending. You know, there's definitely like, oh wow, that just happened. And there is a lot of that's implied, and that's really great, but it does feel kind of like, well, I feel a little unsatisfied here. Again, I like that they tried that new angle with it, and I respect that, but it does feel kind of annoying. So there's like a kind of mixed part to it where I'm like, I see what you're doing there. You know, on the one side, I get that you were trying this one thing, but on the other side, it then doesn't work for the audience who were invested in this for 2 hours. So kind of in the middle. Yeah, so those are my kind of biggest lows, I think, with this, because really just feels like they were trying to get some messages across and they just didn't come across, you know, some themes. It just felt very generic, I would say, and that was its biggest problem. So, The Little Things has a great cast. It just doesn't live up, I think, to what it wanted to. It was trying to be a little bit more than it was, but they still tried something new, I think, even if it was a little executed a little generically. But Jared Leto is definitely a very interesting character. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them got nominations, but Jared Leto was definitely very, very Jared Leto. I'm going to give The Little Things 2 out of 4, making it the next movie in the middle. True movie in the middle, I should say. Yeah, so hopefully the next review I'll be able to get out as another catch-up one, Malcolm and Marie, being able to have that edited. I don't even know. Amazon, it's just, and the snow, it's just screwing me over, but it's fine. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and movies right in the middle. And I'll see you guys later.